Hi guys, this is kind of a more advanced project. I'm Mrs. Jetman from Rock Creek and I'm excited to teach you this lesson. It's kind of new to me and it's really a fun project. So we're going to be doing a little bit with foreground, middle ground, background. So it's a review maybe for some of you older kids, but it's a pretty cool way to review. So here's my example. We've got my swan and we've got the bushes and the water in the foreground. That's the front. Then it moves back to the houses in the middle ground, and then in the way background there's the trees. Okay, so it's kind of cool. It almost looks like it's a 3D version of a picture. The neat part about it is you can kind of stand it up. Can you see how that works? You can kind of stand it up to make it work. So here we go. Let me show you how we're going to get started. I'll set this off to the edge. You can come up with a different plan if you don't necessarily like the plan that I'm showing you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my piece of paper and fold it into thirds. One, and then I'm going to go backwards. Two, and then there's three. So you can kind of see it from the side what it's going to look like. If it doesn't line up perfectly like mine didn't, what I can do is go back and just cut the very edge off. Now if you're going to color it, it doesn't really matter the thickness of your paper. If you're going to paint it like I did, try to use a little bit thicker paper, but it's kind of up to you how it goes. Okay, so first what I've got down here, we'll bring it down a little bit more, hopefully you guys can see it. I'm going to put a truck in the foreground. This is going to be like a good old farm truck. Okay, I'm going to be drawing with marker. If I were you, I would suggest probably drawing with pencil to start out with. I always tell my kids, draw light till you get it right. All right. Now obviously I would go back and definitely add some more details, but I'm just kind of sketching it out for you guys to see. All right, so in my foreground I've got my truck, and then down here I'm going to maybe have a ground line for maybe this is the curb of the street. Here's some more street, and then down here is very bottom is the grass. Once I have that first layer done, what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut everything above it off. Thanks for being patient. Feel free to rewind, pause, fast forward, whatever you need to do to make this lesson work for you. Okay, so everything above my object is going to get cut off. Don't want to cut below it because that's where my tree's at. Or excuse me, that's where my ground's at. So then I'm going to move on to my next layer. And in my next layer, I'm going to draw some pigs. Because this is my farm scene. Might need a little smaller marker so that those details don't get lost. We're going to go ahead and go with this one for now though. I've got this little guy who's just swimming in the mud down here. Kind of funny. Okay, and then I'm going to move back a little bit to my barn. Oops. Sorry guys. Move on back to my barn. Perfect. And then I'm going to cut everything above my ground line. So see how I made a ground line that my barn is sitting on? Everything above my ground line, that is sky, gets cut off. And if it's kind of tricky for you to cut, don't stress too much. It can be cut off in a number of different pieces. Okay, so above that, okay, there we go. So I cut that. So now I'm going to layer those. See, the truck is in front, the barn and the pigs are in the middle. So foreground, middle ground, and then we'll move on to drawing the background. The background of mine is going to be some crops, maybe with a fence here. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is draw do some tracing with some markers. Okay, if you have markers, and then those are my crops. You can go ahead and move on to your painting and your coloring. Okay, what I chose to do was to use watercolors. It's up to you with what you choose to do, but I hope you guys will have fun with this. It's almost a sculptural artwork. Okay, so the things that are in the front are the foreground, the things that are in the middle are the middle ground, things that are in the back are in the background. Now, if you do choose to paint, my friendly suggestion would be kind of paint one layer and then go find something else to do for a little bit. Maybe have a snack, go for a walk. Okay, then once you're done with your next layer, then take another break. This paint's going to take some time to dry so it doesn't blend in. So we've got, again, our foreground, our middle ground, and the way in the back is our background. Now, it would be okay if you designed this whole page, but just realize that some of it will be covered up. Okay, so here's my finished project. I am looking forward to seeing or hearing how these turn out for you guys. Again, thanks for listening to my lesson. I hope you guys are doing well and being creative and being kind. Take care.